All right, good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 10, and it is just before midnight, and I am on a journey to a remote casino, and I just left a casino that I was very disappointed because of. There was a play that I came to execute, and the conditions weren't right, and so I couldn't do it. So this is part 2 of that journey, and we'll pick up where we left off. Alright guys, I am back. You know what? I didn't enter what I made at the last place in here either. So that place, that was plus, what did I say, 107? Is that what it was? I don't know, I'll have to listen to the podcast and see. And then this place, I already don't remember the name of this place already. I was doing the live, and that was pretty cool. Man, this is written so small. I'll have to look it up later. I think it's spelled, yeah, okay. And it was plus, okay. So I was doing a live event on YouTube, and we have a lot of fun with those. So if you're ever around when that pops up, give it a shot. People have a lot of fun. We talk, we joke around, and it's pretty cool. But this place is a very tiny place, but a beautiful place, and it's got this gigantic hotel. And I'm like, who lives around here to be able to fill this hotel? It's like how many stories? At least like 7-story hotel, and it's a big hotel. And it's interesting that they have enough people to keep this place afloat, but they probably don't pay taxes either, so that probably helps. They probably don't pay property taxes or any of that stuff. Anyway, we did the live podcast on YouTube for over an hour, and until I drove to this place, and then I went in and I was checking machines while we were live, and then of course I deleted all that, but I ended up doing okay overall. Ended up ahead $164, 164, yeah, 164. So actually, not too bad, and I actually really enjoyed coming here. The last time I was here, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning when I was here, and it was I was really tired that day, and I really didn't have a clue what was going on. I mean, I knew what was going on, but I was so tired. I really missed a lot of the detail. But anyway, right now I'm gonna let you go. I'm moving on to another casino, and then I'll come back and update you. Alright guys, as I'm continuing on, I'm an hour away from my next stop. I just did another hour long plus live on YouTube, and in that last casino there, I had the most delicious BLT. It was only $9. It was a huge BLT. It must have had 20 pieces of bacon on it. Nice thick mayo, lettuce, tomato, just delicious. $9. And then they had a little gift shop in there, and I went in there and bought some stuff for my kids, so that was cool as well. But right now the roads are nice and clean. I can't really complain about anything right now. I had some time to talk to my friends on YouTube, and all is good. They had some great questions, and I really appreciate all that. One thing that we decided on YouTube is I am going to start publishing the Monday and Tuesday episodes separately. Some people like to have an episode to listen to most days, and I got away from that before because I thought they would be too short, but people seem to like having an episode even if it's short, so we're going to start doing that. So anyway, Like I said, hour away from my next stop. It's 16 degrees outside. I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. So on my way here, I did stop and get some fuel. It looks like this car holds about 21 gallons. That's huge, but you know, I filled up about a third of the way through the trip, and I'm you know, filling up now. I just filled up, so everything is cool. I did go to the next stop, and this is one that I was a little bit unsure about, because this is where the one guy kept asking me for ID, but I knew what time he worked, and I knew what time his manager worked. That would always give me a hard time. Well, the manager would give me a hard time by basically telling this guy to ask for my ID. So anyway, I came in. I just wanted to look around and see what was going on with the place. Really not very much. A few machines were moved around, and some other stuff was moved around. So no big deal. I looked around for some plays and pretty much found nothing at all. So no big deal. Now this place did install facial recognition cameras in 2 spots on the way in. So there's 2 choke points where you're going through facial recognition cameras. And I think they're not too hard to get away from. So the way these work is they're in the wall, and they have a camera on both sides and out the front. So they have 3 different views of people coming and going, and then also passing by them. And I've got a jacket on. I put a jacket on when I went in, and I just was looking at my phone, and the jacket was partially concealing my face. I don't know if I'm even in their facial recognition system, but no harm in, you know, being proactive. So I really didn't find much. I found 2 or 3 plays, tiny plays, and played those through, and ended the session. I had $5. And it's not about winning the money. It's about seeing if I can get in when those guys are not here, because this tells me that most likely, unless I did a great job concealing my face, I'm not in their system, and it's just these guys just inquiring as to who I am. So no big deal. So right now we're going to continue on, and we're going to try to get some blackjack in. We have, at this place, they have different schedules. I'm going to have about an hour before the group that knows me comes in. So hopefully I can get an hour session in of blackjack, head back to the car, and maybe take a nap, and figure things out what I'm going to do next. So that's what's happening right now, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. Not turning out to be the trip that we were expecting or hoping for, but what are you going to do? We're doing the best that we can, and just things are not falling into place. So I ended up playing 1 slot for about a minute, and I was ahead $10 on that. And then other than that, I played 1 table, blackjack table, and it was an unusual table because it was a $35 minimum. Very unusual. So I spread 35 to 500. So basically the way I did it was, if it was a neutral count, I bet 50. If it was a negative count, I bet 35. And then I basically want 50 to 500. So 50 to 500, unless it was negative, then I bet the minimum, which was 35. I played at that table for about an hour and 40 minutes, which is so ridiculous the way that things went down. I was down as much as $1,150, even with that spread. And the low, actually I was in for 1,200. My low was minus 1,150, and my high ended up being the last hand, which was a $500 hand. And I ended the session ahead $75. So at that point, they had closed 3 other blackjack tables. everybody merged over to our table, and there was a total of 4 of us on the table, and there was a lady waiting to sit down. So it was about to get incredibly crowded. So anyway, it was kind of weird because there was this Asian lady sitting next to me, real small Asian lady, and she was probably in her 50s or something like that, but she was a little odd. So I don't know what her deal was, but the Asian pit boss lady was watching her really closely. I don't know if she was worried she was stealing or what was going on, but she was very unusual. She would like cap the guy's bet next to her, the side bet, by $5 before the hand started, and then expect him to do the same for her. And all this crazy stuff was going on, and then she was like doing all these gestures with her hand to switch cards and do this and that, and it was just a very strange situation. But she was there for about half an hour or so. She had come earlier, and the dealer had said, if you want to wait for a minute, we only have 1 or 2 hands left, and there was only 1 hand left actually in the shoe, and but she left, and then she came back later on. So that's what was going on there. Plus 10 on the slots, plus 75 on the blackjack. I'm going to go back to another casino that I was at earlier, and I'm just going to do a quick sweep on the slots. There's not going to be any blackjack open at all right now, so we're going to do a quick sweep, hopefully pick up 50, 80, 100, I don't know, whatever we can. It's not far from the casino I was just at, so we'll just swing by and take a look and hopefully make some money, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back, and it's starting to get a little bit light out. It's about 5 o'clock right now, and looking at my email, there was something that I missed last Friday that I needed to do. It's going to take about an hour to do, so I need to work on that this morning. And then I have 3 meetings today, 2 of them this morning. So, and then I need to get home at a decent enough hour to be able to get to my meeting on time. So what I'm saying is, instead of sleeping, I'm going to drive another couple hours and check out that casino, go to my car, work, and then go back, check the casino again, do a meeting, and then start heading toward home. However, right now there is snow on the roads. I didn't see it snow. It must have snowed earlier, but there's snow on the roads here. So I got to be careful, just watch my speed, and get to the next casino safely. Definitely tired, but I think I'm okay to drive. I think the temperature is low enough right now that it's probably going to be a little bit icy in places, so I just got to watch the turns and stuff. So no big deal, we can handle it. I went into this casino, and remember, I came here because there might be some small plays, and it's close to another casino that I was already at. And I was right. There really wasn't much. There were a few small plays. There was one that I made $16 or $18 on, and then a second one that was actually introduced to me by a friend of mine. I had never seen this machine before, never understood it before. Totally different than any other slot that I've ever played, and it was in position just barely, and I played it, and I lost like $30 on that one. And then found one other play, and I played that one through, and that one got me back ahead again, and I ended up leaving the casino ahead $18. So I'm not very pleased with the results for today, but I made about $900 or $1,000. I mean, you shouldn't complain about that, but you know, it's not great. So that's all right. So hopefully, well, by the time we get to the casino we're going to, someone should have already searched everything, but hopefully we can find something when we get there, and make a little bit of money. We'll go to the car, we'll work, go back in, do our meetings, and then go from there. So that's the plan right now, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. Well, now I'm kind of in a cranky mood. Let me explain what happened here. I go into this casino, and the guy had already been here that I was expecting. That's fine. That's not a big deal. But I go in there, I'm playing, I'm wrapping things up. I just finished my last game. I'd only played a couple games, that was it. And I was ahead $74. So everything is good. I'm getting ready to leave. And this guy comes up to me and calls me by my casino name. And he says, "Hey Joe, how you doing?" And I'm like, I don't know. I was like, who is this guy? I don't know this guy. And he's like, "You remember me?" I'm like, no. And I said, if I had to guess, you're from so-and-so city? He's like, "Yeah, that's where you know me from." I'm like, okay. And he's like, "Look closely." And I'm looking, and I can't figure it out. Then he shows me a picture of him before. And then I recognize him because he had totally changed his appearance. Now, the problem is, he wanted my card, and I refused. I'm like, "Look, I don't play with a card," even though I do here. Because he was going to help me out. He was going to get me stuff. So then he's like, "Well, where do you normally sleep?" I'm like, "Oh, I just sleep in my car." And he's like, "Sleep in your car? You can easily get comps." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't really play with the card anymore. I had an issue once." And he's like, "It wasn't with one of our properties, was it? Because if it is, then I can't pay you if you get a jackpot." I'm like, "Don't worry, it's nothing like that. It actually was one of their properties." And I said, I get jackpots here all the time, which I do. So then I'm like, okay, so he is a customer at one of the casinos that I visit, in a different city, a few hours away. And I'm like, okay, he doesn't know anything. All he knows is that, I'm a player. Well, then he says, "Yeah, if you go to this casino and sign up for a card, they get really good comps. Just make sure you don't play too many AP games or they'll ban you." I'm like, wait a minute, this just changed quite a bit here. So, do you know what I do? And now I'm thinking, I know who introduced me to this guy, and it's not good. Now I gotta avoid, well, I don't really have to avoid him because it looks like he gets off work at 8 in the morning, maybe? Something like that. I don't know, 10, 11. I'm usually not going to be here at that time, so probably don't have to worry about him anymore. But it was really interesting when he said that, and he's trying to give me advice about how to advantage play and get comps. And so I didn't like that at all. So I ended my session ahead $74, and because of him, I decided not to stay there. The goal was to stay in the parking lot and get a nap, and then wake up, do some work, go back in the casino. But with him around, and what if I get a W-2? Well, he knows me as a different person, and he's going to come bring me my W-2, and he's going to be like, "Wait a minute, this isn't you." That's a big issue. So I never dreamed that anything like that would happen. This is the first time that a person that I know as a player and knows me by my casino name now becomes a casino person and may have to give me a W-2. That's a new one to me. I've never even heard of that happening to other people either. So one of these days I may have to come out and tell them my real name and say that's my nickname or something, and hopefully no big deal there. Anyway, I guess we're at about 1,000, which is terrible. The sun is, I thought it was coming up a couple hours ago, but it's still not up. At this time of day, I thought it would be. It is snowing, a lot of snow, and the roads coming to here were very bad. And I had semi-trucks flying by me, but took it easy, took it slow, and got here safe. But now I got to figure out what to do from here, because if I continue all the way home, I would get there like as all my work stuff is starting or later, and then I'd have to have my wife keep my laptop alive, watch it while I take a nap, because I wouldn't have had any sleep at all. See, this is my opportunity right now to take a nap for an hour or so and then get up for work, but he really screwed that up for me. So anyway, I'm going to continue toward home right now, and I'll come back and let you know what's going on. Alright guys, I am back. So as I'm continuing my trip home, looks like I've driven 775 miles so far total. So quite a long trip for not a lot of money. Pretty depressing. But I'm going to go home, take a shower, change, take care of some work, and do one meeting. And then I'm going to head out to a casino like I would on a normal work day. That way I could probably still squeeze a couple sessions in today, and just add that to our total, and hopefully prop that up a little bit more. So right now it looks like it's a little bit of snow at home, and the temperature is 21 degrees, so not bad. So overall should be a good day. Like I said, just go home and get myself cleaned up and ready to go and head right back out. So that's what's happening right now. So we're extending this 2-day and hopefully getting 2 more sessions in. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. I am heading off to my first stop of the day, and I will have to pull over for a meeting with our auditors. So I'll pull over and take care of that, then continue my trip to the casino, and hopefully we have some good variance there. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. I got home, got changed, and said hello, said goodbye, and on our way out. And tonight hopefully we can finalize spring break vacation plans, get those cemented, and go from there. So that's what's going on right now. You're all caught up, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So here's where we are right now. I went into the casino, and I only had like 10 or 12 minutes before the meeting started. So I just made a quick run through, and I was surprised actually, because one of the slot techs came up to me and said, "Hey, this game is getting close." And I'm like, "What do you know about that?" And he's like, "Oh, I know everyone's always looking at this." And he said, "Go look at that one." And I looked over there, and there was nothing there, but he claims that he knows what to do now because he's seen people check it so often. Anyway, I only found maybe 1 or 2 small plays and ended the session. I had $44. And then I went to my car and took care of a meeting, and then which took an hour and a half. And then I came back in, and as soon as I came back in, someone was asking me for something else. So I had to go back to my car, do another meeting, and then by then it was getting later in the day, and I hadn't eaten yet. So when we finished up that meeting, I went to Wendy's, picked up a couple spicy chicken sandwiches, which were not so great. The real solution here is going to be me making my own food. You know where we're going with this, right? I'm sure that's the way it's going to end, is I'm making my own food. Um, anyway, I came back to the casino and took one more run through and hit a couple small plays again, and this time I hit for $47. So plus 44, plus 47, and now I got to get some work done for the office. So I'm going to head back toward home now, and then I'll have a lot of time to get things done for work. I'll have time to prepare for tonight, and it's not too far away from where I need to go tonight. So that's going to be the best place to set up shop, so to speak. And I think that's really going to be about it. Have you seen the stock market, how crazy it's going? Have you seen crypto, how crazy it's going? Have you seen precious metals and how crazy they're going right now? Everything is kind of insane right now. A lot of uncertainty, but I think everything is moving in the direction that we want it to move. Long term, everything is, I think, is going to be better in a couple, maybe not a couple months, but maybe a couple years. But I feel like the next year or so is going to be very bumpy. There's going to be a lot of fear, a lot of worry, and things like that. But as things start to settle down, I think everything is going to be a lot better. Anyway, I'm going to call it a day. It was a long day, and I haven't slept yet. So I'm going to head home and take care of all the stuff we talked about. I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.